Hi, I'm Brian Brawdy with a quick question for you. Is your ready real? Is your preparedness plan truly up to the myriad challenges the summer of 2022 could hold for us? What if there were one thing you could do right now to dramatically increase your chances of survival in an emergency situation? Interested? Hear me out. With all the uncertainty in the world today, all the potentially life-threatening situations we hear about constantly in the media, one thing remains constant. Whether the emergency is man-made or brought upon you by Mother Nature, in any survival situation, this one thing is guaranteed, hands down, to happen. Hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, blizzards, urban unrest, power outages, a knock on your door late at night. So let's say your car breaks down and you're stuck roadside, or maybe a family member suddenly needs medical assistance. Whatever the threat, this one thing happens automatically. Doesn't care about the outside scenario. What is it? Your brain kicks into hyperdrive, sounding the alarm. Your amygdala interprets the incoming images in sounds in full IMAX Dolby stereo and instantly sends a danger signal to the hypothalamus, which taps your adrenal glands, and, well, then the real show begins. Now, thanks to this age-old survival mechanism, you get a sudden burst of energy when it secretes a cascading host of stress hormones to aid you in one very straightforward decision. Should you fight, flee, or freeze in place? It's that simple. So, the question begs, what are you going to do? When you're neck deep and it will never happen to me, how will you react? In that split second, you have to decide. Are you going to use those chemicals coursing through your blood, pumping throughout your system? Will you use these chemicals to your overall advantage? Or will these chemicals hijack and use you, forcing you to panic, wallowing near instant stress and in debilitating anxiety? Thankfully, it's nobody's call but yours, because the bottom line, when forced to square your shoulders with a threat, with any threat, will you keep your head or will you lose your mind? The art of ready, or as I like to call it, the philosophy of unflappable, some like to call it the science of unstoppable. Whatever title you're comfortable with, these mindsets are at your command. They work for you. By now you realize that your brain has a mind of its own and it fears the unknown. So how can we circumvent the amygdala and push on for the ultimate win? What's the one thing you can do right now to exponentially increase your chances of coming out on top? The one thing, remember who you truly are, authentically are. Know up front that you are a lot tougher than you remember. You're already a survival expert. Once you actively decide to get out of your own way, your resilience is a good bit more powerful than you recall. And just like any other muscle in your arsenal, it progressively gains strength each time you exercise it, and most certainly exercise it to its natural potential. Humanity in sum, and you as an individual, wouldn't have made it this far. Just think about it. If you weren't a good bit stronger than you give yourself credit for. It's in you to never tap out, to always rebound and move forward. Fragile is a mindset. It guarantees failure. Why would you ever adopt it? In my next post, we'll look at the best way to do just that. Until then, welcome to the end of panic, all the stress and anxiety it causes. Remember, your philosophy of unflappable, the science of unstoppable, is the art of ready, and that's ultimately who you are.